Hey y'all, welcome back to Fitting and Homemaking. Today's video, we are going to switch over our mantle from winter to spring, or I guess more accurately from Valentine's Day to spring decor. I was just kind of sick of looking at this stuff, and honestly I did this video a while ago and it's just taken me a little while to get around to doing the voiceover for it. And by the time the video hits, the day after, I think, yes, tomorrow is going to be spring. So happy spring if you are watching this a day later. But these flowers, some of them were looking a little bit sad, so I also wanted to make sure I took care of those. But first we're just kind of clearing everything off here. Nothing too terribly interesting. And I'm gonna dust a little bit. No clue what I was doing there. Do not remember. Maybe there was something stuck on there I was working on. But you may notice I sound a little bit different. Apologies for that. The trees outside are doing their thing, and I've got some bad tree pollen allergies. So I'm just kind of struggling through right now, but apologies. I'll make sure if there are any really gross sounds that I will edit that out. But here you can see me hanging up a bunny garland, and unfortunately you can't see it that well because the fireplace is white and the bunnies are kind of like an off-white, but they do have this nice, these little pom-poms in between them that are pretty pastel colors, which you will get to see when I do a closer up view in the end. This is just me trying to adjust and trying for the life of me not to have to move where the command hooks are. And I'm being overly particular with it, like I am about most things. But I like this garland because the bunnies are in different postures. That's not the word I'm looking for. Positions. But some of the bunnies are jumping, some of them are sitting and looking around. So it's just, I think it's very cute. And so for this decoration, I actually didn't have very many spring decorations, so I did go out and buy some. I gave myself a budget of $20, which I guess is kind of breaking the rules of my low spend year. I didn't say that decorations were allowed or weren't allowed. So I guess that's technically breaking it. But I really wanted something happy up here. And so I got that garland. The garland was $10. And I got the little bird that you see there. And it's actually a bird that is a gardener bird, one of those Target gardener birds, and then the little thing sitting next to it that is really hard to see because the bottom part is whitish like the mantle, and then the top part is actually nearly the same color as the walls in this room. It's a little bit darker, but it's a little kind of house with like cabbage leaf roof, and the bottom kind of looks like a little bit of a stump, and it has windows in it, and there's a light that you can either have on or you can have it on a timer. And it just, when it starts to get dark out, I just think it looks so cute, and it just brings me that little bit of joy. So the bird was $5 and the little light up house thing was $5. So $20 total for that stuff. I didn't think was too bad. And I did have some other stuff. You see me kind of struggling with getting some command strips set up here. Each year I have these pictures that I hang up, and they're kind of my spring summer decor, and I'm not eyeballing it as much as it looks like I am. There are X's on the wall that I just leave every year knowing that I'm going to be hanging these back up. But the pictures are actually quite old. I took some photos when I was in high school. I just got into photography a little bit, and so I had an SLR camera, and most people who are younger now probably have heard of a DSLR camera, a digital single lens camera. But this was not a digital version because I'm old now, and back in the day, digital cameras were outrageously expensive. So this was just a film camera, and I would like to go around, and the camera had a little bit of a macro lens on it, and I would go around and take pictures of plants. So these are just close-ups of like flowers and various plants from where I lived in Michigan at the time. And I just frame them in these cheap frames, and they just make me happy because it reminds me of, you know, at that point I was old enough to drive myself around, and I had been driving myself around, and like when I saw a plant on the side of the road, or like I would go to a park, and this is me trying to figure out if they're even and if I need to move the stuff on the mantle because I'm not happy with it. But I would walk around and take these pictures, and it was just a very relaxing thing to do. So normally my videos are sped up, but with this one, since it's a shorter one, I decided not to. This is me trying to rearrange the flowers. I kind of consolidated the flowers from the previous 2 vases that were up there. These are those same flowers, but they're the flowers that hadn't died yet, taken from those. And then these I had just gotten at the store for, these were like $7 or something like that. But those are tulips. So I didn't follow the directions the first time I bought tulips from the store. And the directions say that you leave that plastic sleeve on for 4 hours after you transfer them into a vase. And I didn't do that, and they were so droopy and just going everywhere, and no one likes droopy things, right? So I'm leaving the plastic on here, but I think by the time I do the overview at the end, you'll see them with the plastic off. Me still not being happy with it, really. I was like, does this arrangement bring me joy? No, it does not. No, it does not. Max is coming to supervise here, do an assessment. Me moving little battery candle lights that you can't even see. I will say, since this point, my daughter did make an addition to the spring mantle decor. She has this little garden kit where it has these little separate plastic pieces, and it has, stems and leaves, and oh, I found another flower that wasn't dead, that had taken out before. Anyhow, it has these stems and leaves and like flower petals and the stamen and like butterflies that can stick on top of the stamen, and some of them. And this is me questioning my life choices right now. But she put a little garden area together because there's also like a bottom thing that you can slot them in so they stand up. And she put that and fleshed out our spring mantle decor a little bit more. So it's not quite warm enough. But here's the overview. You can see the pretty little house with the cabbage leaf top that lights up. And the tulips in those pictures. Oh, you do get to see the little thing my daughter did. Flowers. So this is the little garden that she made to put up there right next to the bird. I think it looks so cute. It's more of the picture. You can hear Max walking around. And then this is, I think, really cute. I love the leaping bunnies on this, even though it is constantly askew. Well, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure that you like and subscribe. I don't do decorating videos too often just because we don't have that much stuff to decorate with, but I do enjoy changing over things seasonally. Thanks so much for watching to the end, and I will see you next time. Bye.